All right, go ahead, Al.
Hey everybody, we're so excited that you made it and that you're here with us, and those of you watching the recording. Melissa Orth, I know you're watching, so thank you for watching the recordings. We are excited for everyone to be here. Announcements, I thought of one. Clean Week is now launching in October. So what Clean Week is, if you don't know, it's where people can sign up with no obligation with Beachbody On Demand. Like they just get a free week, like a menu for like a clean eating menu for a week, and then they have access to Beachbody On Demand for a week. And with they don't just sign up for an account or anything, no credit card information, maybe an account, but no credit card information or anything like that. So Beachbody just wanted to give coaches another way to utilize the products, and so they're making it easier for us to do clean eating groups, so you can offer BOD to people for a week with a menu that they've already provided for you, and it looks pretty cool. There's more information on that in the FAQs in your back office, and that's the only announcement I can think of. So
wait, hold on. Also, your customers have probably received an email telling them that their 10% discount for being a Team Beachbody member will be discontinued in September, which most of them probably didn't even know they were getting it anyway. So if they do ask you about it, you can tell them, like, if they still want a discount on Shakeology, that they can become a coach. I know too that some people were asking, you can do an alternating, I think Aaron told us this too, alternating Shakeology and Daily Sunshine. So if they want to do that with their discount, they can do that too. But just to let you know, they did get an email saying that their discount will be discontinued, and I'm sure if they see discount and discontinued together, they're going to like flip a lid. But that's what it is, just so you know when they come asking about it.
Cool. So. Love it. So for today's call, we're just going to jump in. We mentioned last week that we are going to be doing a live power hour this week, really live power half hour. We're just going to be working through the BAT together, and so feel free to ask about methods with each topic or whatever portion of the BAT that we're working on. And yeah, should we just jump in? Let's see, what time is it? So let's say we have 30 minutes. So should we just do 3 topics, 10 minutes each? Or should we do 6 topics with 5 minutes? 5 minutes isn't that long.
Let's do Reconnects.
We really don't need 10 minutes for Reconnects. We could do Reconnects for 5 minutes.
And adding to your list for just a couple minutes. So let's spend most of our time in invite and social media.
Wait, actually, no, Reconnect. I meant adding to your list. We don't need. Let's start 5 minutes for adding to your list, then 10 minutes for Reconnects, and then we can jump into like crafting posts.
Cool.
How does that sound? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to set the timer. Go ahead and so this section is going to be for adding to your list. So one way that I do that is I go into, if I'm looking in Facebook at my friends, I'll look at mutual friends that we have, and then send them friend requests. And then when they accept my friend request, Stacy had a great text that she used that she posted in Empower today. You guys can look it up. But she just, once they accept her request, you can just say, hey, like what I say is that thank you for accepting my friend request. Like I'm just looking for more positive, influential people in my news feed. And since you're friends of so-and-so who I love, I thought that we could reconnect. Like, how are you? Tell me about you. Like, easy way to reconnect with them and everything like that. So that's what I do. So I'm setting the timer. This is adding to your list, and go.
I'm just gonna ask for one question. Mom, we don't stop that. I need
Can you hear that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Of course you can. Maybe I'll just mute myself so you guys don't have to be succumb to the reality of my life. Okay, that was actually 5.5 minutes because I lost track of time. All right, so now we're going to move on to, did everyone get people on their list, hopefully? I know for me, I have people on my list that I'm going to reconnect with, and then I don't put people on my list until they actually accept my friend request. And as soon as they accept my friend request, that's when I write down their name and start tracking them. So I sent out, I don't know, probably 10 or 13 friend requests right now, just through one friend of mutual friends, and then I don't know, have a bunch of people I wrote on my list. So okay, so let's see, what's the next part we're gonna do? Oh, reconnecting. So I'm gonna do 10 minutes for reconnect. So consult. Hopefully you have a list to work from. You can work from the list we just created, or go through your friends list to reconnect with new people. So any questions about that before we set the timer and jump into that? Okay, go. All right, that's 10 minutes for that. Hopefully you got some nice reconnects. Maybe some people that accepted your friend request that you can respond back to. So for the next 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes of our call, we are going to focus on what, Lacey, you want to do craft posts or something? Okay, so it's always nice when you don't know what to post if you have kind of an arsenal of things that you can draw from, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm like, what am I going to post? Like, I have no idea what to post. So Lacey, I love that Lacey always says to always snap pictures of anything that causes some sort of emotion in you, whether it's good or bad or happy or sad or whatever. And that's always something that you can post about later. You can always draw too from, you can breadcrumbing your story. If you look back on your story and think of the ups and downs of your story, and then just focus on one specific area that you want to talk about or something like that. So any other tips, Lace, as we go into crafting posts? No?
I think just to remember that you are, like, it's your goal to help people find a solution, to see that following you and joining you will help them get to point A to point B, and that it is an emotional solution that they're looking for. So wrapping emotion around it rather than like an ABC kind of a thing.
Like when you're telling your story.
Yeah.
Okay. We had a whole call, like an hour on like 10 topics to post on. And we did like a live power hour, but just on crafting posts, if you want to go back and watch that later. So we had 10 different topics. And for each topic, we took like 5 minutes to come up with ideas to post around that particular topic. That was really helpful. We should do another one like that, because I got a lot of good posts out of that, like more direction than kind of what we're doing right now. So, yeah. So look that up later.
Hey, Mom.
Okay, I'm going to set the timer.
Sorry, I have a quick question about reconnecting. When you reconnect, is it just with people you haven't chatted with a long time? Even if you are like, yeah, I know they're not going to be interested in any of this fitness stuff. Like, do you just reconnect with them anyways because you never know? Or do you try to focus when you're reconnecting on people who might be more interested?
Well, you do never know. Like, there is that. You do never know. But I don't think it's bad to occasionally send, like normally we stay away from just cold invites, like blanket invites to things.
Right.
In the shoe bin. Close the door. But if it's someone that you're like, I have no idea what to say to this person, you know, like there's sometimes it just like that just happens. I don't necessarily think it. Oh my gosh, Lacey, Morgan's jumping on our call.
Wouldn't it be a different link that I sent you?
I don't know. Morgan, are you there?
Anyway, continue. I'll figure it out.
Okay. That's really funny. She's a prospective coach. Just jumped on our call. Anyway, I don't think it's a bad thing to just send out like cold invites then. You know, at Summit, they kind of talked about like sending 5 donuts each morning. I can't even remember what donut like actually meant. Do you guys remember?
It was the baseball thing. So the baseball bat weighed more. So then when he actually went to swing, it was easier.
Yeah, something like that. So he challenged everyone to do 5 donuts per day. And what that meant is just get like 5 invites out. And like that would just like, hey, I'm running a cleaning group. Hey, I'm running a challenge group. Want to join? And those would, for me anyways, would be for people that you're like, I don't know what to say to them. And the whole idea of that, doing it right in the morning, like first thing, is to make it easier later on when you're talking to people about the invitation, that, you know, you've already got kind of the hard part out of the way. You've already like stepped into the fear, and then it's not so nerve-wracking talking to people. So does that help?
Like, sort of. Well, so like yesterday I spent a long time talking with a gal who I used to go to church with when I was a teenager. She's like 70 now. Like, I was like, oh, I haven't talked to her in forever. So I just, you know, spent like almost an hour chatting with her. And I was like, it's like kind of a waste of time because I know she's never going to do any of this stuff. Like, it was kind of fun because she actually, well, whatever. So like that, would you spend time, probably not during business hours, to do like someone like that who isn't going to be interested in me coaching them basically ever, right? Like, that's a waste of time.
I would
What
Go
I
ahead.
would do is I would save them for the end, like put them like last on your list. They're not top priority, but I wouldn't wipe them off your list because you could always say like, hey, I'm getting ready to run something, like I'm getting ready to run this free challenge or this clean eating group or this challenge group or whatever. Do you know anybody that would be interested in joining? Because she might have granddaughters or neighbors or somebody that she knows. And since you already have a relationship with her, she's more apt to then like refer other people to you. And then it also will give you people to reach out to and say, hey, I was talking to so-and-so. She said you might be interested. Like, let's chat about it. So I wouldn't consider it a total loss. I wouldn't necessarily put her top on my list of responding to, but I think she'd still be an important contact for sure.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. That's like, yes, that's totally what I was looking for. Thank you.
Perfect. Plus, you never know like what connections then she has with other people. You know, so any sort of conversation's always beneficial. Plus, it's like giving you practice, like on just communicating and talking with people. That yeah. Anyway. Okay, so posts. Ready, go. I'm setting my timer. You have 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes are up. So hopefully you got at least some ideas written down for posts and some posts typed up for later. Do you guys like these calls when we do like live power hours, or do you feel like they're kind of a waste? Did you see that? Is it helpful for you? Yeah. Erin says yes.
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been trying really hard with my bat to sit down and like, look how messy it is. Oh my God. To do it, but this is a really focused time for me. So I do enjoy it, even though the recording must be super fun to watch. You got to get on this one. Don't rewatch this one. You got to get on it.
Agreed. Cool. What about you, Mandy? Is it helpful or? Oh no, I can't hear you. But you can say yes or no. Like it's okay if you say no too. That's
good.
Yes. Okay. That's pretty good. Katie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's great. Like my favorite thing that I don't even remember where I heard it first, but just like with making lists. And so instead of like actually reconnecting and finding new people, I was just making lists. That way tomorrow when I sit down, I can just like bust it out. Like I freaking love it. Just makes it go so much faster, you know, like instead of spending like 20 minutes figuring out who I'm supposed to even like connect with. Like now tomorrow I'm going to be able to connect with like 20 people and it'll just happen so fast now. So yeah, so like when we were finding like new contacts, I was writing down, well, I know that I haven't plumbed this person. I know this person has like a sister who's into fitness, but I know she's not a coach. So she might be interested in this. And like, there's some people from high school I've still been like nervous about reconnecting with. So yeah, just like lists and lists. I think this is great. Yeah. So it just set me up for tomorrow. Like
Awesome. I like the idea too of like doing things in batches. I think that's how Stacy still does it, but I know at least that's how she used to do it, where she would just make her list, like you're saying, and then like do all of her reconnects for the whole week in one day, you know, like do like 30 or something after she's making a big list and then get them all done. And then you're spending the rest of the week, like actually reconnecting, like the messaging part.
Right.
So,
yeah.
To do with your time and what works best for you.
Today I sat down earlier to work and the last day has been harder for me. I had a good week, but like the last day has been a little bit harder. And like I sit down, like Aiden's sleeping, must work. And like I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't in my like groove to message. So I actually was like, okay. So what did I do then? Probably listen to some PD. Like I scheduled out some more posts because I was not like myself. So I didn't want to message then. So I wrote them down and then I did it now because I'm more in my groove right now. So I think sometimes for my mood, I have to do that. And then I enjoyed for tonight, like the brain dump of the post. I know I'm supposed to do that. I do what Lacey says and I take my pictures, but I never write them ahead of time. I didn't even finish them, but I started a couple ideas that have been like in my head. And so, and then I found my 3 places I'm writing my post ideas. So I'm going to consolidate that a little bit, but that I need to do even just that section. I need to do myself a little better. So that was a good reminder for me.
Awesome. I love it. Mandy just messaged me and said, you talked about setting a clock and I haven't done that yet, but doing it just now is really helpful to see how a time frame will help me get more done in a short period of time. Totally true. Like, I think for me, I realize, and it's nice too, that when you're done, you can just like, I'm done. Like close the computer, know that you got done what you could, and then you're done. Yeah. So then she says, question about posts, where do you store them? Or do you come up with a few for each day and post that day? So for me, I have the Notes app like on my phone and my computer. They're linked up. And so I have a folder within my Notes app titled Posts. And I just have like a whole folder of posts. And so that way, if an idea, like a quote pops in my head that I want to do a post around, I'll just type it right there within that folder. A lot of times I'll come up with ideas throughout the day and I don't have time to sit down and post them. So I'll need to just jot them down, and I do it right there in that folder. Especially like quotes in the workouts sometimes really stick out to me, and I know I'll forget them, so I'll write them down in that app right there during my workout. I'll pause because I know I'll forget it by the time the workout's over even. And then just throughout the day, like things will come. And personal development, if a thought comes, this is why we need to do personal development too, because I get a lot of post ideas through my personal development and like how they apply to me. So then I'll just store those ideas in that app, and then when I craft them, I'll just sit down and write them out. So hopefully that makes sense.
Another thing that I like to do, especially it will help if I've like run into like a roadblock with trying to come up with something. Like I know I want to say something, but I don't know how to get it super focused, is I have a bunch of secret boards on Pinterest. So I have like a motivation, I have nutrition, I have a motherhood, like, and so during times like if I'm watching a movie with my husband that I think is really boring, then I'll still sit there with him, but I'll open up Pinterest and I'll like type in exercise motivation or something like that and look for specific quotes that like speak to me, and I'll save them to that board. So when the time comes when I'm like, have a picture, I know kind of like have an idea of what I want to say, but I don't know what to write on it, and like have a jumping off point, I'll pull open that particular secret board. I'll get a quote and I'm like, yeah, I love it. I'll put it on a picture and then I can write a post from there. So it's just kind of another jumping off point to have those secret boards. Just don't get lost in Pinterest because that's really easy to do.
Seriously.
I was gonna, a couple people lately have said that they don't, like they're at a roadblock. Just message me. I have lists I don't know what's wrong with me. Like I just have so many ideas bursting but I get paralyzed in that, and I struggle to translate it into my posts, I think. But I seriously, everywhere like all over the house, there's post ideas. But whenever, I guess, if I can't figure something out, I always post something silly or like with less text. Dave's always like, you write so much. And I was like, no, but I think everyone is. Like, they're so long sometimes.
Right.
I try to be brief and break them up, but I think he thinks they're so long. So then I just am brief and put something so silly. And that gets more likes for me than my deep posts anyway. So.
Right.
Just to not stop, but like post something, even if it's silliness.
Well, even that, the whole point is to add value, and making people laugh is adding value. Like a lot of times,
Thank God.
you have like these huge, like deep, heart-wrenching posts in order to be adding value, and that's so not the case, because honestly, sometimes it can be really heavy following someone that's always sharing heavy stuff. Mm-hmm. And so it's nice to like share the heavy in between the happy and the, the silly and all of that. I was going to say too, this sounds really stupid, but when I was really I had a babysitter for a while coming over, and so I knew I had 2 hours. That's all I had. Not all. It was freaking awesome. Like 2 hours. And so what I would do for like 15 minutes, this is going to sound stupid, but it was so helpful. I would have like 5 workout shirts laid out, and I would like take pictures. I'd put a different shirt on and like do different pictures, like, and then like crazy selfie type pictures. So I had a bunch of pictures like for quotes or whatever that I could pull from really quickly and like put text on. That was really helpful because, normally when I think of pictures, it's like I'm not. Anyways, it just was nice to have a dedicated time just to like take a bunch of pictures. So that was helpful. Anyway, thank you for coming. I love doing these. It's helpful for me. Helps me really work from a list better when I'm doing it in front of or with people. So, all right. So hopefully you guys have a great week, and yeah, we'll see you on the team page. Bye guys.